Hey y'all, look at this cuteness today. Yep, I'm doing the Ninja Turtles on a 24 peg loom. I'm going to drawstring cast on, and then I'm going to U-wrap knit for 38 rows. So get the body and the head of the turtle. Then once you got your 38, you stuff them, tie the head off from the body, play with the stuffing to shape it. Try to give it a little turtley nose area, mouth area. And then we will make his pieces. So I'm going to close off the top. My needle. On this circle up here. See this? These are loops. We're going to go in some of them. All the way around. It's okay if you skip a few. Just help close it tighter. This is the top of the head. It's also where we cast it on, that end of the body. Alright, can't get in those, so I'll skip it. As you go, pull on the string. You'll tighten the hole. I think I went outside the hole there a little. It's okay. Okay, pretty much closed. So I'm going to give it a knot. And I always double knot, but you don't have to. Pull it tight. And then put the yarn back right side out. And I'm going to take that yarn that we just used to tighten the hole, and I'm going to clip it, and I'm going to use that excess to tie off, separate the head from the body. So then I'm going to stuff with some poly, fill. I like to separate it and kind of fluffy it. And I'm going to shove it up in there for the head. And this is when you can also start to shape it. Because I want the top to be a little bit squeezed in up here. And a little bit of a kind of puffed out here, like where the nose and mouth might be, just to shape it. So I'm going to do that a little bit while I'm stuffing it, and I'll be back. So once I kind of got that going, because I'll mess with that the whole entire time as I make him, but it's prominent where the area is where I want it to be. Now I add more stuffing for the body. You want to add just enough so that you know when you tighten this bottom up, it'll stand. So, yeah, it's pretty much perfect. So, I'm gonna close the bottom now. And you can still mess with this. Maybe put a tiny bit more in there. In the bottom. Okay, and we're gonna close this end up and put it on the needle. Where did it go? I'm gonna do the same thing. Feed it through the little loopies to tighten it up. Pull it tight. Pretty good there. Do a couple more. Pull it tight. And we're going to give it a knot. And I'm going to feed this up through the bottom and somewhere out the top. And you could also use that excess to tie off the head if you wanted. I'm just going to clip it. Squeeze the body so it goes back inside. Then we're going to take that excess we cut. And this is where I started the shaping. So we want the tie to go in the back, so that's the front. So we're going to tie it off in the back and squeeze it. Not too much, but enough. We don't want it totally cut off, separate from the body. Once we squeeze it down, we want it to look like it's sitting on top. Squeeze that nose again. The nose and mouth area. Yep. And there we have our third guy ready. We'll clip these later or hide them in the body with my needle later. And we have one more to go to stuff. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. And then we'll be back to talk about the shell parts. Alright, I got all my bodies put together. The other 3 turtles stuffed and ready to add on their parts. So I am going to do the front belly shell in a light yellow, and the back, this is actually from Dollar Tree. I kind of like their yarn for my little plushies. This one's called Forest, and it's a little darker than the green one that is called Moss, which is also from Dollar Tree. And yeah, so this will be the back turtle shell. Let me maybe if I turn there we go. Sorta. There's the back turtle shell, and I did put a little bit of stuffing in that. Not much, just like, I don't know, a tablespoon, I guess, or less. Maybe even a teaspoon. I didn't put none in the front. Okay, so for these, the belly shell, we're going to do a drawstring cast on of 24 pegs on a 24 peg loom. And we're gonna U-wrap knit 6 rows. Then we're gonna crochet cast off, chaining 1 chain in between each peg. And I will demonstrate that when I get to it. For now, I think most of you understand drawstring cast on all the pegs on a 24 peg loom, and U-wrap knit 6 rows. And I will be back to show the crochet cast off with 2 chains in between. Or maybe it's 1 chain, sorry, yeah, 1 chain. 1 chain in between each peg. Okay, that's going to give us this look on the outside of the shell. And so I'll be back. Okay, did my drawstring cast on, and I did my 6 rows of U-wrap knit stitch. Now I'm going to try and show you how to cast off. So the last peg where your working yarn is, you're going to put a crochet hook inside there, pull the loop off. I bring it over, it's just easier to work like that. Bring it over between the last and first peg. You're going to wrap your yarn around the crochet hook and pull it through the hole, and that is a chain. We're only going to do 1 chain between each peg. So now you're going to come over here. You're going to pick up your first loop here, next loop over, bring it up. I bring it over. Well, you can pull this through first. Pull that first peg through, then bring it over to the side and do your 1 chain. Wrap your hook and pull it through that loop. Tighten it a bit. It's okay if it gets a little loose while you're working. Next loop, take off the peg with your hook, bring it through the last loop between the next pegs, do 1 chain. So we're going to do this all the way around. Pick up the loop, pull it through, go between the next 2 pegs, do your 1 chain. I hope that you're seeing this on camera. I'm currently using an old phone to record right now, since I'm just starting out. I need to get better equipment. Next loop on the crochet hook, pull it through your last chain, bring it over to the next 2 pegs, make your chain, pull it through, and continue. And you're going to do this all the way around. Make your chain, chain one between each peg. It's going to give you a little more leeway to shape your shell. Chain. Next peg. Pull through the chain. Come over here, make a chain. Next peg. Oh, that's my oven. I have made shepherd's pie tonight. I will be back after I'm done finishing my chaining and eating my dinner. Alright, I'm back. So this is what it looks like when you get it off the loom all the way. And when you come to the end, you just pull a chain through and pull it off. So then we're gonna stretch our stitches. And then go to our drawstring cast on and pull it. See, kind of where this leaves off, you can kind of make that kind of like the top. And you just want to shape it sort of like a turtle shell. And then keep pulling. We'll bring the string on the opposite side. Keep pulling. Keep pulling and shaping, sort of like a toilet seat. Sorry about that. My dad needed something. So then we're going to go on the back side. And I just get this hole as small as I can. Because once we get it on the turtle, the belt will cover that up. So I'm gonna feed this through. Tighten it up. My pops, he wanted me to show him how to find my YouTube channel. He's so cute. #1 supporter. He's a good man. Knot it, tighten it up, and then we're just gonna go through a couple more and clip it off. So then this outside piece is the piece I'm going to use to sew it to the turtle. I'm just going to take my needle and put it on. And then this like a straight edge that I've worked my yarn into looking like. We want to find the little nosy side. And we're gonna just put them on here. So you're just gonna like go on the edge of the shell, go in and into the turtle's body, and kind of push back out anywhere along that top. And then go in right by that. And come up over here where you want it to be straight across. Like so. And I don't go through every single little hole on this. I skip through the body. But when you come up, I will go to the next one. Closest so there ain't no weird line showing on top. And then I'll go through the body and just come up somewhere. In, go up to the body, come up somewhere on the inside line. I just lost my thread here. Get it back on the needle. And go back down. Come back up. And go back down. Come back up. And go back down. And come back up. That showed a little bit more than the rest, but oh well. And then I'm not going to knot it. I'm just going to poke it up here. If you hear my son yelling at his thing in his room, his game, please ignore it. Hopefully you can't hear him. I'm just going to pull it through the body and out the back. And just kind of work with it a little. Okay, I just dropped my needle. Fun. Alright, so I'm going to do this front belly shell for the other two turtles, and I'll be back to show you how to do the back side. Okay, so once you get all these on, you can hide this yellow without knotting it on the front by weaving it in the middle of the back, because it will be hidden behind the back turtle shell. So that's how I hook that in. And now we're gonna do the back turtle shell. Again, 24 peg loom. And we're gonna use the darker green. This is Forest. From actually Dollar Tree. you're gonna draw string cast on all 24 pegs, and you're gonna U-wrap knit 8 rows. And then again we will crochet cast off, chaining 1 chain in between all pegs. Pull the drawstring and shape the back. I did add a tiny bit of stuffing to the back one, like a teaspoon of stuffing basically. Just enough to give it a little pooch. You don't need much since our bodies are plump. So you shape it just like the yellow and sew it on the back. It'll be a tiny bit larger. Okay. So I guess I'll show you, even though all my videos pretty much so far I do drawstring cast on. So make a slip knot. Attach it to your anchor peg. And you're going to zigzag in between all the pegs. All 24 pegs. Back and forth. Front to back. You're gonna just go in front of, or just go behind that first one. It works itself out later. At the end of this first row, actually. So then we are gonna get some more yarn out of the ball here. Okay. Then every peg with 2 strands, bottom over the top. When you come around to the first peg, I go over to the second peg, hold that there. The yarn's stuck inside though. I gotta pull it out somewhere in a minute. Okay, so lay it over the first peg, across to the second, and knit off. And that's the cast on. So then we want to do 8 rows of U-wrap knit. That's half wrap the peg, knit over. Half wrap, knit over. And we're going to do this for 8 rows. Again. Alright, we're going to show you one more time how to take this off with a crochet hook and chain 1 in between. So start with the working yarn, get it on your hook, come between the pegs is what I do. Wrap your hook, pull it through, that's 1 chain. Then you're going to come over here, grab your next loop off your next peg, pull it through that chain, then come between those pegs, wrap your hook, do another chain, 1 chain between the pegs, grab your next loop, pull it through that chain, bring it over here, make another chain, this is hard, let me point this down. peg's loop, pull it off, pull it through the last chain you did, go between the next 2 pegs, make a chain, and so on. And I don't know how good this is. I may or may not put it in the video.